Now, as they do this, they do some very interesting things, some things that you wouldn't expect. So when we look at the Parthenon, it looks like it's in perfect proportion. And in fact, you can apply that 1.618 to 1 proportion, for example, to the metopes versus the triglyph. Or you can apply it to the entire face of the structure. They're trying to make this as idealized as possible. They also do something else interesting. This is an exaggerated image, but all of the columns of the Parthenon actually tilt inward, and at the same time, basically they tilt inward, and at the same time the stylobate, the foundation that they're sitting on, is curved. In fact, it's about 12 inches over the width of the Parthenon, and your first thought is going to be, well, of course they need drainage. But why do you need drainage for a building that's always covered, that has a solid roof over it? No, what they're doing is they're doing this for optics. By tilting those columns inward, it makes the building look straighter. It makes the columns look straighter. Our eyes, because our eyes are curved, tend to curve and distort images a little bit. And they're trying to fight against that, creating something that is really more perfect. And before you think that this is, incredible and unlikely, in fact, this is recorded by a Roman architect by the name of Vitruvius. So these are to compensate for optical illusions. We also see that they're doing it to keep those columns nice and straight from a distance. So they're looking at in terms of people standing there and people much further away. And all of this is very minute. Like I said, it's about 6 inches to a foot over the width, and maybe 15 inches total over the length of the temple. So it's not that great when you consider this temple is well over 100 feet long. But this is done to show that need for perfection. It also causes a bit of a problem. You see, the Greeks have tried to rebuild the Parthenon 3 times now. The first time they tried to rebuild it after they gained independence in about 1821. And what happens is they start putting these pieces together with iron brackets. And the problem is the iron rusts, and as it rusts, it expands and it breaks the columns, breaks the marble. The second time, they start to rebuild it without the iron, but they think that all these column drums can be put anywhere. So I can put this drum over here or over here. The problem is if the columns are in fact slightly tilted, even very minutely, you can't. It means that every drum has to go in its exact position. It is not interchangeable. So in 1985, when they discover these optical refinements, what they do is they have to restart the construction again. A little too far there. They have to restart the construction again. And today what we see is a much more accurate reconstruction because of these understandings of the temple.